the microscopic level, we are 99.99% energy. Hello, you guys. Welcome back. If you're new, my name is Rulla, and this channel is all about growth. So if you want to become the best version of yourself, then make sure to join the community. Now, if you're anything like me, then you're most likely always searching for a new self-help book. Is it really changing your life? This is a disclaimer. I will say self-help books can change your life. But the question is, do they? And if they do, how can we ensure that these books that we're reading and spending our times on are actually going to create an impact in our lives? A lot of times, self-help books are not making an impact in our life because we're actually blocking them. And what I mean by that is we view these books as any other books. We don't consider that this is more than just a book, right? It's not a novel. This is supposed to be a guide for us to live by. So a lot of the times we'll read these books maybe when we're out, maybe when there's a lot of noise around, maybe when we don't have a pen to mark things. So we're not actively engaged in actually digesting the information and understanding it. And I personally have found a lot of the times if I'm reading, a self-help book and someone's watching TV in the background, I will read a sentence 1, 2, 3, 4 times and still be like, what did I just read? So be honest with yourself. If you really want to read a self-help book in attempts to actually change your life, then treat it that way. When we go to a class that we actually want to get something out of, we don't have the TV playing, music on in the other room, our phone in hand. We're actually actively engaged in that learning process. So if you really want to gain that knowledge from a book, the first step is to make sure you're in a sound learning environment. Make sure it's quiet. Make sure you're comfortable. Make sure you have something, if you want to write down a note, or if you don't understand a word, you can look it up. So put yourself in a situation where you are going to be capable of receiving the gifts that are inside of there. Now, I'm almost positive that you have heard the quote from Thomas Jefferson. I believe it's Thomas Jefferson that says, if you want something you've never had, you have to do something you've never done. We're all aware of that concept, but for some reason we read self-help books and believe that just reading a book is going to instantly change our lives. We're gonna wake up and we're gonna be in that mansion on the beach with our soulmate. The problem is, reading a book isn't what's gonna change our life. It's the actions we take after reading the book or while we read the book that are gonna change our lives. So like that quote says, let's say your dream is to work at a Fortune 500 company. You're reading this book and this book is giving you just so many gifts of knowledge and you feel like you're so inspired. And the next day, you're going through, Indeed or wherever you look for jobs, and you see a job opening at a Fortune 500 company, and you're reading through the requirements and the duties, and you're like, oh man, I don't meet these requirements. Like, I'm gonna skip out. I'm not ready. And the first problem is you haven't changed your beliefs about that job. You haven't changed your beliefs into aligning with that job. So you're probably applying for jobs in the back of your head thinking, I'm not worthy, I don't have enough skills, I don't have the experience. You're already having these doubting beliefs in your mind as you're doing this. Subconsciously, right? We don't actually tell ourselves, but deep down, something in there is telling us, you're not capable. We haven't done this before. We have to do something we've never done in order to get something we've never had. The most important step is to change your mind, okay? So it sounds simple, but I mean literally change your mind. So if your entire life, your belief has been, there are no decent guys in the world, Reading a book that says there are plenty of decent guys in the world isn't going to change your mind. You have to ingrain that belief that there are many decent men in the world, and there is one who is capable and worthy of loving me. That's the belief you now have to carry if you want to make that reality. Let's use a different example. Let's say your dream is to be a millionaire, but inside your mind, you don't have that belief that I am capable of being a millionaire. How do you believe you are going to attract the right situations in your life to achieve that if you yourself don't believe it? This all goes back to our mindset, you guys. Our mindset is the most important thing in life. You might think your education's important, but it's not as important. You might think that your age is important. It's not as important because it's all in the mind. When patients are given a placebo, if you're not familiar with this, let me give you some info. So a placebo is basically like a fake medicine, water pill, or it's something that really has nothing significant in there. However, the doctors tell the patients, we're distributing, this new medicine. It's known to have an 89% success rate. This is all a lie, but this is what they tell the patient before giving them something that has nothing valuable in it. They found that placebos have a significant effect on the patient's health. So if the patient thinks he is receiving something that will benefit him, he or she will be benefited. So let's backtrack. If you go through a nasty breakup and you think this is telling you that you're worthless, that you don't deserve better, that you are always have the same type of guy, then that is the reality. You put in your mind that that is what is true. So what says it's not? But if instead you said, this breakup was a learning experience. We were meant to go through this pain, to go through this hurt in order to grow as individuals and to find the right soulmate for us who is indeed out there. You're now telling yourself, this breakup was a positive catalyst in my life, and therefore your whole attitude is going to change. Your whole life will change, you guys. It really is as simple as changing your mind. It sounds simple, but it requires a lot of reverting. Just the other day, there's like a connecting wire on the floor, and she was saying how it's dangerous, someone can slip on there, and right away my mind started working. I started envisioning, oh my God, what if someone were to slip on there? Like I started literally visualizing a worst case scenario. And I was like, no. Like I stopped in my tracks and I'm like, why would I give attention to that which is the worst case scenario? Why would I envision or imagine the worst thing happening? I should always imagine the best scenario. So once again, your thoughts determine your life. If you're always thinking, I'm broke, I'm stuck, I never get a good job, my friends don't care about me, your life will reflect your thoughts. But if, on the other hand, you say, I am so grateful, everything in my life is a gift, every day, there's happiness in every day, there's growth in every experience, your whole life will change from just that mindset switch. You might think this is bogus, which, we hear a lot of bogus nowadays, so I totally get you. But let me give you guys a little bit of more scientific background so you guys really see where I'm going with this, okay? An atom, okay? If you guys are familiar with an atom, it's obviously not this big. I will put in a definition for an atom here. When, physicists were first looking at atoms, they were not sure how an atom was arranged. They didn't know, where the electrons were. Anyways, they had a certain model for looking at an atom. But later on, they found out that that model was incorrect. And the correct model was actually the atom in the middle and a whole electron cloud around it. I don't know, you guys are thinking, what the hell does this have to do with my mind? Well, an atom, which makes up every single thing you see in this planet, whether it be a chair, your water bottle, your body, your hair, like every single thing on earth is made up of atoms. The atom is 99.99% energy. Yeah, you heard me. It's only 0.01% actual physical matter. So think about it. Our body, at the microscopic level, we are 99.99% energy. How is it that we think that our energy, our thinking, our attitude, our feelings don't affect our reality? They in fact do affect our reality. And it has been shown that once we believe something is true, the whole universe will conspire to make that thought the truth. So let me give you an example. There was another study done where it was like a group of people taking some sort of standardized test. They were told that, males are known to perform better on this test and females are known to perform poorer on this test. So mind you, they had different, right? They had a control group. The control group just got the test. They weren't told anything about anyone was going to do better, right? They just got the test. They did it. Then they had another group where they told the class that men are known to do better on this test and women are known to do poorer, even though that was not true. It was not at all true. It was just, once again, it was like another placebo to see how these individuals would react. There was a significant difference in test scores. Not only did the experimental group, the men, perform higher, but the women performed lower, just like they had been told before they went in to take the test. So when we think about reading a self-help book, we think about the end goal we want to achieve. Let's say it's a Ferrari. Let's say it's traveling the world, being a best-selling author. We read books hoping that these books will bring us closer to those end goals, those action kind of steps. What we fail to recognize is what precedes action is our thoughts and our feelings. And what precedes thoughts and feelings are our beliefs, right? When we read a book, we don't instantly change our beliefs, thoughts, and feelings, but we believe we can instantly change our actions. Do you see where the mistake is here? Self-help books give us a chance to change our beliefs. Beliefs are ingrained in us from kids. Some of our beliefs we don't even know we have. For me, one of my beliefs, there was no such thing as a happy marriage if you had kids. I don't know why that was my belief, but probably thinking it was because my parents got divorced when I was a kid. And at the time, the only way I could process that was, oh, maybe it's because, my sister and I, were in the middle of my parents' relationship, or maybe we hindered their love. When we're kids, we come up with these stories that we tell ourselves. This person hurt me because of XYZ. We tell these stories to ourselves to make sense of our life, to make sense of our past. But we have to tell ourselves a different story. If our story has always been, we have to save money, we have to budget, we have to live below our means, we really need to save every last bit, then you're telling the universe you're not ready for a higher income. You're not ready for more expensive bills. You're not ready to experience higher levels of success. The first thing you need to do is change your mind. So how many times have you guys just had that bad kind of feeling or that bad gut feeling right before something important, whether it was a test, whether it was an interview, whether it was a phone call? And was it not 100% confirmed? Isn't it always that when we have that negative vibe or that low energy or just a bad attitude, our reality immediately reflects whatever it is that was in our head? So who's to say that if you don't go through life with that gratitude, with that positivity, with those beliefs, and I mean literally believing. You can't just say, I'm gonna be a millionaire, but not feel it in your soul. You need to say, I'm gonna be a millionaire. I am a millionaire at this moment. You need to believe that whatever it is you want to do, you can accomplish at this second. There is no external thing that needs to happen. You don't need to meet a business partner in order to create your dream business. You don't need to go back to 10 years of school in order to gain the experience to apply to that job. Everything you need is inside of you. And once you realize the power that you have as a human, not only to learn, but to evolve and to even change the way your brain thinks, you are on the step to changing your life. So I just like to say thank you so much for watching. I hope this video, shed some light on the fact that self-help books can change your life, but you really have to do the work in order to see the progress. And let me tell you, it is life-changing. I'm starting a new series and it's called Change Your Mind, Change Your Life. And I'm going to be coming out with videos every week or even more. And it's all going to be about actual practical things you can do and you can implement. So this isn't just going to be passively reading or passively watching. I want you guys, if you're serious about it, to actually do these things, because like I mentioned in that video, How to Change Your Life, I think a month or two ago, when I talked about journaling and law of attraction, I felt the difference that these things made in my life. I didn't just do them to do them. I literally wrote gratitude journals and I really felt the outpouring of love I felt on the days when I wrote there. And in law of attraction, right? I've seen those results first person. I've seen those, I've witnessed them, I know they're real. So if you guys want to come on this journey with me to change your mind, change your life, then make sure you subscribe, make sure you give me a thumbs up, make sure you click the bell so you can be notified when I post, and just look out for all of those videos going really, really deep in order to become the best versions of ourselves. I don't think a lot of you guys know this, but I actually broke my foot a month ago. And during that time, I had a spiritual awakening. And I've always been one to read. I've always been one to do self-help. But when I started to actually change my mind, I've seen the impact it's had on my life. So I really, really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for the series. It's going to be coming up soon. I'll see you guys next time.